guys.
Hi.
Welcome to Creative Living. I'm Max.
And I'm Amy.
And we're going to talk about time.
Yes.
More specifically, how we need to surrender to the fact that everything happens in our own time.
Yeah.
And I think in this day and age, especially with social media platforms and this sort of new life we lead where we're all compared against one another, we forget that we're all on our own journey. And often that can mean that things happen to some people quicker, earlier, and to some people a little bit later, and that it's all supposed to be the way it is. And we get stuck in this sort of little bubble where we feel like we're not good enough because our friend from uni has been picked up and is now skyrocketing and doing so well in their field, and we're still here trudging along and not really knowing where our place is, and we judge ourselves, when in actuality often things just need a little bit more time because everyone's different and everyone's field of work is different. And even you can have two actors who have a different style, and there's only work that comes out for one at one time and then work for the other at another time, and that's okay. And to actually feel like it's okay.
Yeah.
And that you'll get to where you want to go.
That was just Mackie's little...
Yeah,
we don't need anything
my
more.
little monologue.
We're done.
We're done. The end.
Yeah, it's beautifully said. I did that post the other day that was talking about different authors' timelines for their books and how like varying they are. Like how Victor Hugo took 12 years to write Les Miserables, and J.K. Rowling took 5 years to write the first Harry Potter book, but some people take months, 2 months. Apparently Boy in the Striped Pajamas was written in 2.5 days in a frenzy. People's timing for the creative process is different, and then people's timing to be put out, for the work to be put out in the world is different too. And we have to respect that, like deeply respect it, otherwise we're going to fuck ourselves.
Yeah. And like back to comparing, like I think also, you having said that, there's also some of the great actors that we see in Hollywood today all got their roles when they were in their 40s, 50s.
Yeah.
And sometimes it takes experience. Like you might have this sort of vision for your life and vision for the work that you want to create and a vision for the message that you want to send to the world, but it can often take years for you to fully understand what that means and to be able to learn how to communicate it in a way that people understand. And it's okay. Like, it's okay that you might not feel like you're where you feel you should be, because often that's usually a good sign that you will get there. It's when you've got the feeling before it happens. And it can feel really shit. Like, it can feel like things are out of place and suddenly maybe you feel a bit knocked off your path. But if you have that vision for where you can see yourself going and you trust in that and you serve that every day, you do work that leads you towards that path, that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what your friends are doing. And like, for example, we have a very different sort of week compared to some of our other friends who work 9 to 5, and that's okay, because it means that we're doing things a little bit differently, which means we're going to see results differently. And even financially, it's going to be different because we're not on a salary, but that's okay.
Very.
And
totally.
It's so easy to get caught up in that.
Oh my God, it's so easy. It's competitiveness really at it, like wanting, hiccups. Like even when you were just describing that like uni friend who got picked up, like I can feel myself be like almost anger, like just like why not me? I think we have to learn to use that fire constructively so that we don't end up bitter, because artists get bitter. It's the risk of the trade, and it's the most toxic, unproductive thing, and it will kill your work and it will kill your dreams. It really, really will.
And it's always when you're cruel to yourself. Like, that's really what the bitterness is when you're being too hard on yourself. And to be able to step back and go, that's okay. Like, I'm not there yet. I'm not having all those tremendous holidays that everyone else is having seemingly 5 to 6 times a year. My time will come for all of that, but right now this is what I need to do, and this is what I need to focus on, and maybe this is what I still need to learn. And I think being able to be kind to yourself and understand that and take that pressure off yourself will help immensely for then being able to accept what the universe has to offer. Because also, when you're feeling like you're comparing and you're in this competition, you might not be open to opportunities that are coming your way because you're so set on, well, this is how
it's gonna look.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is what's happening with this person, so this is how it should look for me as well.
Yes.
Instead, maybe it'll come in a totally different way.
I completely agree. That's really important when we're so when we like predict what our journey is going to look like, and we like, there's a difference between like manifesting what you desire and understanding what you want and knowing exactly how it's going to go and being rigid in how you surrender to your journey. So you think that it's going to be like this, and so you're basically saying no to all the other stuff that could possibly happen for you.
Yeah.
It's really important.
Yeah, but it's really hard to do.
Yeah. This is all like so easily said.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
We
sit here and chat about it. But we chat about it because this is stuff that we're dealing with.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, each topic that we put up on the YouTube channel is because this is exactly the stuff that we're exploring at the moment.
Yeah, that's sitting in our souls.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. So it's obviously definitely easier said than done.
Yeah.
But it's true. And it really does come back to like our self-care video. It comes off that, and it's like taking care of yourself and treating yourself in a way that you want other people to treat you. So even though you don't feel like it, even if you think that things should be happening and they're not, you should also be treating yourself the way you want people to treat you. So to go, well done, you're doing so well. You are successful, you are further along than you think, and saying things to yourself that you really want other people to say to you as well.
Yeah, that's...
Because it will slow you down back to where you are at this moment in time. Patience.
I've got a really good quote in my book behind me about patience.
She's getting it. There really is.
I just highlighted it so it's going to be easy to find.
Perfect. What book is it?
It's from Jen Sincero. Lol, I show this book so much, but it's from Jen Sincero's book, You're a Badass at Making Money. And it's talking about how, you know, it's awesome to go out there, grab your goals, you know, to have, you know, an amazing attitude about money, an amazing attitude about how good your art is. But at the end of the day, you need patience. Like, you need patience. It's like you get all ramped up and you're like, yes, my work is great. Yes, I deserve money. And then you go out and you do this stuff and you're like, come on, like, I want stuff to happen for me right now. But patience is just such a big part of it. What part do I want to start from? She's talking about how our lives are made up of tiny little moments. And if we forget to be patient, we're just going to miss them all. And she's talking how we have to shut up and slow down, breathe, connect to your higher self and act with intention, because without patience, we're not going to act with intention. What you focus on, you create more of. And the more tiny thoughts you have that are higher frequency, the more higher frequency you'll bring into your life. Because being patient instead of being high strung is like going to remove like the freak out mode. Like, you know, like if you're constantly comparing yourself to somebody else and you're not being patient, you're going to freak out. You are. And that's going to lower where you're working from, and you're going to not be slowing down and breathing through the process, and you're going to I think you're going to play yourself. And you'll burn out. Exactly. You'll crumble. It's just, I think it really is like, I'm so impatient, but I'm learning that it's like it's probably one of the most important lessons in this creative path. It's true when they say patience is a virtue. Oh yeah. Because it's something you have to learn. And I think also in this day and age, we're a very consumerist society. You know, we buy stuff, we bring it in. If it's broken, we chuck it out. There's this sort of like quick ingestion and what's the other? Rejection of stuff. Yeah. And you know whether something works or doesn't work in a second, you know? Yeah. And to actually
have the patience to go, well, it's not quite right, but I'm not going to chuck it away. Like, it just needs a bit more time. And often it really is about learning. Like, it is like, I want to be doing this, and I want to be that, and this is how I want people to see me, but oh my God, there are all these things that I need to learn before I get there. And like, even just having the patience to admit that, and you know, the humility to admit that, to go, this is where I want to be, but I do need to just wait. And it doesn't mean you don't do anything. You still got to be working and practicing and getting better every day.
Yes.
But to go, but it's going to take a bit of time.
It's going to take time. There's another really good quote by Philip Glass, and it talks about that. It's like, you know what? It's great. You have so much to learn. It's not time for you right now, and that's like really okay, because it's the beginning and you need to figure out how you're going to make your work brilliant. And it's okay to be at the beginning before you make your work brilliant. It's a process. It's such a great quote.
That is good. Yeah. So just take the time. Take your time, because also you will create better work.
Exactly.
When
don't freak
you slow
out.
down. Yeah.
Just breathe through it.
And it doesn't matter where everyone else is at. It doesn't matter if everyone's buying houses and you're not. It doesn't matter if everyone has this amount of money in their bank account and you don't. Or the other way around. Maybe you have a shit ton of money and you actually don't know what to do with it. Like, that's all fine too. But that just everyone is on their own path.
Yes.
And what works for one person isn't going to work for another. And even though one person's life might look absolutely fantastic, they are also going through their own shit, even if you don't see it, because social media is really good at hiding all the shit.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally so fucking sick the last few days, but I haven't posted anything. No one would have known.
Why would you post
how shit that would have been.
The Vomitron.
Oh, the Vomitron is disgusting. So even though everyone looks like they're having this fabulous life, it doesn't mean that they don't have their own demons that they're battling.
They might be vomiting.
And they might be off on this wonderful holiday and you see all these beautiful photos, but they're not even able to enjoy it because they don't feel good enough for some reason.
Yeah, totally.
So it's really important to be able to take your own time, because it means that you won't be beating yourself up. You won't be going after false idols, putting people on pedestals.
Yes.
And you'll just be focused on creating good work.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. You've got to remember that, like, you are your own, like, completely unique, special kind of magic, and, like, literally nobody can be you. So you're already way ahead on that. Like, no one can beat you to that, because you're the only type of person. Like, you are you.
And beautiful.
Yeah.
And
you
special.
don't, yeah, and you have something completely unique to give. So in that way, there's no rush.
No.
At all.
Yeah.
Okay.